All right, let's just get it out of the way before a single thing happens. I want to talk about the Spitgate.
Spitgate?
Yeah. One of our, the best defensive tackle in the league.
Oh, I'm so glad that the Spitgate isn't something that you're involved in.
No. It was something that my team, my team is involved in. My team is involved in.
Your team? Which team?
The Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah.
Eagles?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Jalen Carter, he spit on Duck.
Duck Prescott?
Duck Prescott. I say his name. His name is Dakota.
His name is Dakota.
He doesn't go by Dakota.
Shortened.
They don't say Dakota. They say Dakota.
Dakota.
So if you're going to shorten it, then his name is Duck.
Duck Prescott.
So Duck Prescott.
Yeah.
Was spat upon by one of our Eagles players.
Before
the game started.
Like his chest, not his face.
Yeah, spat on his face. Spat on his chest.
Yeah.
And the commentators kept playing it as like he spat in his face, which he didn't. It's still a bad play. It's awful, actually. You heard me. I went off. I was yelling at the TV.
I really liked his reaction to it, though. He just looked right at the ref. He didn't even move a single muscle, but Duck just looked right at the ref and did one of these. What? What is this? It wasn't even that offensive. He was just you see this shit? That's all he did.
It was a little bit of a bummer. And
a bummer for
the whole
the
thing,
Eagles?
It's the kickoff of the year. He's the best player probably in all of the NFL, but he's
Who?
Jalen Carter.
Okay.
He's probably the best defensive player in the whole NFL. He's that fucking talented. He's gonna if he can stay healthy, he will be one of the most legendary players to ever play the game. He changes every game he's in. He is an impossibly good player. He played here in Georgia for the Bulldogs, won a championship. He is.
How long has he been an Eagle?
I believe this is his second year, right?
What do you think is going to happen to him now that he has spat upon a duck?
Well, there's some things. Hang on a second. I'm getting some feedback off of something. I don't know what. I think it might be this, though.
I'm Bobo wants to know who won.
Who won? The Philadelphia Eagles won, and this is a very interesting part because the Philadelphia Eagles won despite not having their number one defensive player, the guy that would be in Duck's face. Okay. Anyway, Spitgate. Everyone's disgusted. No one likes this. It's a bad thing. You don't do that. You don't spit on another human being.
No.
It literally boils my blood. I mean, it doesn't literally boil my blood, but it literally boils my blood.
Figuratively boils your blood.
And so it's just not as fun to say, is it?
No,
No,
it's not.
So I'm literally going to say that. And then I see the game got delayed. A storm came in and the game got delayed. And they showed that Duck, he spit at Jalen Carter first.
What?
Yes.
Duck Prescott was the first spitter. He initiated the spit.
Yes. He didn't hit him. He spat on the ground, but he was taunting. You could see him taunting him and everything.
Yeah.
And look, Jalen Carter's a young fucking player. He's we have the youngest defense in the whole NFL. And he's, the leader of it. He didn't get voted captain, and probably this is why. He has a controversial past, by the way, a very controversial past. Here in Georgia, after they won the championship, he was a part of 2 cars drag racing down Barnett Shoals Road, just to the east of us. And there was a crash, and his buddy lost his life, and he left the scene. Very controversial. Might still be litigations pending on that. Obviously, it's understandable why he would run away as a kid who was in trouble, clearly.
Horrible.
But, it was really just a bunch of people fucking up all at once. You know what I mean? Everybody was drinking. They'd won the championship, and it cost somebody their life. And so, obviously, there's a lot of pain around it, and there's a lot of trouble around it. I don't need to go down that rabbit hole. That's his business.
That's so wild, though, that they won the championship, and then one of the players, passed that night.
Yeah, and that player who he was just as valuable as Jalen Carter in the draft. He was going to be a massive NFL player.
Damn.
Yeah, big loss. Big loss. It wasn't Jalen Carter's fault. At least we don't know that it was, and he doesn't live his life as though it was. I don't think he's this bad dude, So anyway, just sad. It's just sad. You don't want it just dirties the whole game. It makes everything icky. But then you see the Duck is starting it, and it's a taunting thing. And by the way, there's a whole new thing going down in the NFL where the players have been put on notice, no taunting in the NFL anymore. And I think that's a really good idea, actually, because, you see kids doing that shit on the Pee-wees all the way through up into high school.
Yeah.
And what the fuck are you doing that for, bro? Play the game, be a respectful gentleman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Don't, anyway, so.
I bet there's probably a few people that are kind of bummed about it, though, because they want that kind of entertainment, which is like, lowbrow type shit.
Yeah, I mean, every single Philadelphia Eagles fan probably, like, secretly, like, went, like when it happened, just like the slightest of grins and then wiped it off their face. Disgusting, horrible human being. Who would do that? What kind of human being does that?
What, when he spit on Duck Prescott?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like all the Eagles fans probably had like some kind of indelible grin, It just couldn't leave.
They were like, that's terrible. You don't do that. With a big smile on her
Delegate's taken off momentarily because she's going to be watching the Chiefs take on the Chargers in Sao Paulo. The Eagles played in Sao Paulo last year, and they beat the Green Bay Packers there, as a matter of fact. It's Eagles territory. They're going to an Eagles home game. Did you know that?
That Sao Paulo has adopted the Eagles?
Yeah, mostly.
Why?
Don't ask me. I'm not a Sao
They probably just adopt every team that goes there. I'm pretty sure they're loyal to their football club.
Some housekeeping really quickly. Very excited. The new gear came. I'm starting to build out the little tricks and treats for us to be able to do the Horny Growl episode. I've already tested.
And so many more, too.
And of course, many more, but it's for me.
Show you stuff while we're talking about it.
I'm just hyping the Horny Growl episode because I think it's going to be what kicks off the actual videos. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do tonight, maybe we'll do that first. Because it's just mostly our homies here. Look, let's say hello to some people. Delicate's here. Guilty Angel is here. Bobo is here. Fellbombing is here. Austin is here. This is fucking great. You guys are amazing. So, Guilty Angel. I think Guilty Angel wasn't here yesterday. I was thinking about her. I was like, I don't know if Guilty made it. So, I have. Yeah, let me show you something. Actually, let me see if I can dig this up. Now that I've got the capability to do it, I think I want to show these guys this work that I have done so they kind of get an idea. Do I have it? Let me see. Let's see. Well, I'll look for it and see if I have it later. We won't do it right now. We should probably get into the news.
Well, first.
Okay.
I just want to, it doesn't have to be a moment of silence or anything, but I do want to,
this is too early. It's too early. This is too soon.
Speak on a tragic happening today in the Too Real Live headquarters, where Dale has lost his mug. Dale's mug is no longer with us.
So that mug, it was a handmade mug by an Appalachian potter.
Cue the taps.
Potterer. She is really amazing at it. Like, she's fucking incredible.
Yeah, we went to an art and antiques little fair or something when we first moved here.
Yeah.
And Dale picked out his favorite mug of all of his ladies' mugs.
So that mug was almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I have used that mug, I would say on average 2 times a day, every day. For almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And this morning,
it hit the ground and it broke in the most dramatic way.
Like a dozen pieces.
I gasped like Vivian Lee.
Horrible.
Yeah.
A terrible tragedy has befallen us. But I think we can make it through.
It broke a bit of me, a little bit of. I am
into a dozen pieces.
So I'm actually in a state of grief, and it's like a very slight state of grief. But I find myself going, and then I'm like, why'd that come from? And I was like, oh, my mug is gone.
I'm not making light of it, but it's just so adorable that you were so
I couldn't believe it. I was
object.
so stopped by it. I was just frozen, and it was just there broken. And it was it was, it's just there's just some things that are beloved to us in some ways. There was a beloved possession. And the other thing about it was that, we were up in the mountains and we found this incredible potter and we picked out these mugs, one for you, one for me.
I know. So it's changed mine now too.
So now we have now it's just first of all, I immediately went to superstition. Is this about us?
That's really
Has something broken between us? Is it the diamond? What?
No,
What
it's
are
like-
you trying to tell me? Why take from me my greatest mug?
It's also like, in the movie About Your Life, they would totally use that as like a metaphor,
Yeah.
So you're suspicious that it's real.
Now I don't even get as much tea, because that was a good,
It was
deep,
a good
proper
size
mug.
Good size mug, yeah. But I found the potter.
You did, yeah.
Yes, she.
And she's fucking even getting better. Like now she's getting all fancy.
Yeah, she doesn't even have a website, so I think we might have to like drive for an hour.
Whatever, I'll
to go
walk
see her.
to her. Go check past episodes if you want to just go pay your own, pay any respects.
We should do a mug montage.
Little mug montage. Yeah, like I wish I had some
All
shots
the times
of,
you took a sip.
I wish I had some shots of the way I looked at it. I don't think anybody could see the way I looked at my mug. Like I would see that mug, like, on the counter, and I would be like,
It was love.
It was real love.
I didn't know whether I should just smash my mug in solidarity,
I had a moment of irrational thought. I was like, they both must go.
Yeah, like a Viking, like has to be like, the funeral pyre has to have the trusted steed on it also,
Exactly. Oh, my poor mug is gone. It's shattered and it's in a paper bag in the kitchen, and I accidentally tapped it with my toe as I was throwing something in the trash, and I heard it.
You heard the clinks?
There. Yeah, and it was like a cry. It was horrible.
I'm going to piece it back together.
Blake Lively got some good evidence, did she not?
Well, she prevailed in her motion to compel for Jed Wallace.
Yeah.
So what we saw today from like the new exhibits were just unredacted. Yeah. It wasn't anything really revelatory, but it is making it so much more difficult for the Baldoni fans to say that there was never a smear campaign. Now they've sort of moved the goalpost where it's, okay, there was a smear campaign, but she deserved it. Because there's so many ways in which he is sending messages back and forth and they're praising him. Like at one point, one of the Publicist employees was sending emails about Jed Wallace, calling him a magician.
Really?
And I don't know that you ever call somebody a magician if all they're supposed to do is monitor. Magicians like famously are known for just sitting back and doing nothing,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would praise him as like Jed and his team are the best and Jed's a magician, and if he wasn't actually doing things. Also, there's evidence of them constantly.
What would you call him a magician for if all he's doing is observing?
You wouldn't.
Monitoring, as
or if he's making reports, you wouldn't call him a magician.
Magician for what?
They're also sending him a ton of articles and links.
I think that's so damning.
I know, I think so too. They're sending him a ton of articles that are pro Baldoni, and then links to content creators who are making pro Baldoni videos or whatever. And they're sending them directly to him, like reams of it, like whole lists for him to boost. Another email was exchanged where they said they think it's better if Justin Baldoni doesn't make a comment, right? That he doesn't go out to the press. What they're going to do instead is have third parties speak on his behalf. So if that's not fucking astroturfing, if that's not like media manipulation, the publicists are saying, we're going to go find third parties to talk on him.
Yeah, and he hasn't said boo.
No.
And this is the problem I have with him. I've said it many times on this live. I'll say it until there's a verdict. The first thing he should have done is spoken out against any hatred or vitriolic, actions.
It would have gone a long way. Even if he was continuing to be involved in the smear campaign directly, him speaking out, even if he's lying, would have gone a long way.
Yeah,
It's
well, yeah,
strange
that goes in the, like,
do it.
he's not a very thoughtful, he's not a very good strategist, because easy strategy, dude. Dude, I could have walked this guy all the way to such a massive home run in this situation. Like, had I had proximity to this guy and cared, I could have just been a major help to him. I mean, not that he was accessible.
Dude, I don't know that you would. I don't know that he would have taken your advice anyway, because I think he just wanted to fight. I think he wanted to punish Blake Lively for speaking up against him. It's just so strange.
Yeah.
So strange how he's so the opposite of the person that he was talking about in his TED Talk. It's just very, very fucking weird. Another thing is that
I don't think it's that weird, I think it's something we see quite commonly, especially coming from celebrities, especially coming from actors. Leonardo DiCaprio did the same fucking thing. He put himself out, portrayed himself as this big environmental fucking guru, and all he does is harm the environment. He has an atrocious carbon footprint as a billionaire, or as a billionaire lackey. He fucking did his big interview for Esquire on a yacht.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't care about the fucking environment.
No, he doesn't give a fuck.
He has a diamond foundry that's literally damaging the environment.
I think he's just dropped the facade too, because why would he say in an interview, "No, I'm talking to you from a yacht"?
From a yacht.
Why would he say that if he was still trying to put up his
It's an
front?
eco-friendly yacht, and
Yeah, right.
Because he didn't he buy an island and convert it into an eco-friendly island? Like the island, it was eco-friendly, dude.
No, it was a eco-friendly resort. I was like, that's a fucking oxymoron.
And now he's building just north of the Gaza Strip. Real environmentalist. So I'm just saying it's not a surprise that Justin Baldoni is a fraud, because we don't know what's true anymore. I think a part of what makes Taylor Swift really appealing to me is that I truly believe that she is not a fraud. Now, it could come out that she is, and that will be as devastating as any news ever about a celebrity, relative to what that devastation really means to me. Practically nothing. But you know what I mean, as far as like just my own personal emotional investment for whatever it's worth. I don't hang, like these people don't change my actual life ever. So there's none of that going on. But I would be ultra disappointed if Taylor Swift didn't turn out to be the person that everyone suspects she is, which is a good-hearted woman who happens to be ultra successful. We've been burned so many times, though. You can't trust any of these celebrities. It's so bad. You just don't fucking know. You just hear it and then you're like, it's so fucking bad. I know. I want to tell you more about these unsealed documents from about Jed Wallace. Yes, please. So there's also an email referring to his services as social/digital mitigation and remediation. So not just monitoring, not just passive monitoring. Social/digital mitigation and remediation. There's also evidence now that they're talking about his team, how he's got... It's like remediation is a big word. I know. Like, I'm really interested in, like, when somebody says remediate, like, yeah, if you got like a mold problem and you call up and you're like, hey, and they say, yeah, we'll remediate your mold. You're like, okay, what does that mean? Well, they might come in and fucking rip your walls out. You know what I'm saying? I know. Or they might, pump the air with something like remediate, explain. Yep. Yeah, that seems pretty invasive. Yeah. Intensive. Crazy. Yep. There's also references to Jed and his team, because remember he was saying in his motion to dismiss, he was talking about his how he was just like a lone wolf. He was the only employee and employer of street relations, that there was nobody else that was working but him, that he's like a solo guy who was hired just to do monitoring and nothing else. Well, they keep referring to the publicists who hired him, keep referring to Jed and his team. So it's great. I mean, this is amazing, and it really does. Now, is there still some undecided motions on jurisdiction and stuff with this still, or I think that's still pending. Has that been sorted? Yeah, and there's also motions to compel for Brian Friedman and I think some of the other parties too that we're still waiting for. I'm very interested to see if this. Well, I guess we'll never know, but I wonder if this had anything to do with, in terms of like if this will have any impact on Liman and the decisions he's about to make as it relates specifically to things like jurisdiction, because there's exactly what Blake Lively has been saying all along, which is, hey, this guy might be sitting in his butt in a chair in Texas, but this dude is not working in Texas. Well, also just that he's brought on as a consultant means that he's responsible for the work that he did with he's working with them, not with them the defendants. Working with him. Yeah. Like, okay, so TAG hired him for, here's some quotes.
to expose Blake Lively and others, start threads of theories, remove links that are harmful to Wayfarer, and change the narrative.
And change.
I just don't
the
think...
narrative.
So, it's just like...
Change the narrative.
What is it, the narcissist prayer?
Oh, I used to know it. I don't remember it.
It's the narcissist prayer goes, that didn't happen. And if it did happen, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, that's not a big deal. And if it is, it's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. And this is just what we're seeing them play out. Like the Baldoni fans are just moving the goalposts all the time now because new evidence is coming out that makes it so it's impossible for them to maintain their old views. But saying that she has no evidence of a smear campaign is just false. There is evidence of a smear campaign. Exactly how it went down maybe isn't completely known, but there is plenty of evidence. I think that there's nothing left that she needs to prove to win all of her claims, all of her causes of action. I don't know.
I agree. I think she's going to win. I think she's going to win. I think she's going to win easily. I think there's a very good chance that she's going to get a summary judgment. And I think that evidence like this is going to help, and I think she's being able to prove that there's, an extensive network at play and that they all have one common goal. And that common goal is not to make her fucking look good.
So did she name in her lawsuit, did she name Doe's? Because I think that it's weird that some of these other employees of TAG aren't named in the lawsuit because they definitely participated in a smear campaign against her.
Well, you don't know what she knew at the time of the writing of the lawsuit.
Oh, okay. So do you think that these people...
There's a discovery process, so you...
Do you think they'll still be sued?
Employees? No.
Yeah, well, like there's a bunch of names that show up in these emails where they're obviously engaged in the smear campaign against her.
Well, if they're employees, then it's going to go down to... It might go down to who's giving the orders, not who's fulfilling the orders. If I'm just a worker bee, I got to wake up in the morning and get my health insurance every week in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why would you sue that person? They're doing their job, whether they like it or hate it, or it doesn't even matter. But you might subpoena them and have them testify.
I hope it does go to trial because I think that that's exactly what everybody needs to hear to maybe realize that they've been rooked this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't.
I'm excited.
So, you know what I want to do? Not necessarily right now, or I can do it right now. I don't know if Delicate's still with us. I want to play this because I haven't gone live with this, and I just want to show some people some of the stuff we're doing. And so I'm going to cue it up so that you guys can see, some of the stuff we're doing. Because we're doing some pretty good stuff. Let me see. Cosmic Urgency said, Dale, do you really think that you get to where Taylor Swift's status by being someone who won't disappoint you? And I would say that I think that every human being goes through life disappointing somebody along the way, no matter what you achieve.
I don't think that her status is a result of her harming anybody. I think her status is just she sold a shit ton of records for an extremely long time and she made good business deals.
Well,
I don't know.
My answer is that I don't think anybody gets to anywhere in life, whether it's, achieving their dreams or falling short of their dreams and not disappoint somebody along the way. I don't think that there's any reason to believe that Taylor Swift deliberately harms people or has deliberately harmed people or has used people for her own gain. I think that it's probably the other way around. I think most of the time Taylor Swift is trying to figure out who she should genuinely help and who shouldn't. Bobo said here, for example, that what was it? I'm just looking for the note. It's something about Taylor Swift revoking her godmother status.
Oh, yeah. Said, I don't believe the rumors Taylor revoked her being godmother to Blake's children.
No, that's such a stupid rumor.
Yeah.
So
it's so obvious that they're just trying to like change the narrative where they're just like, what if we just started talking about two other people completely different and none involved with anything that Justin Baldoni ever did?
Yes, exactly.
What if we just change the subject completely? Let's talk about Blake's other friends.
It's really kind of sad. I know. You know, it really is. It's just kind of sad. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. Fuck it. We got 11 people here. Let me say.
What are you doing? I don't even know.
I'm going to
in the
play
dark over here.
The Taylor loves Travis, Dale loves Jason little clip. It's a 3-minute clip. But I want to show people what we're doing because we're really trying to grow the channel up. And the reason why, you know, we don't, and this happened on TikTok as well, the reason why you won't see like a huge amount of growth right now is because we're not actually doing any of the repurposing of these great lives that we do together. Do you know what I mean? And so, but we are putting some cool things together.
Wait, so you're going to show people a clip of a live they already saw?
I'm going to show them. They'll enjoy this.
Okay, but what is it? Why?
I'm going to cue it up right now. It is the Taylor, Travis, Dale, Jason video. You know which one.
Okay.
And I don't have you hooked up to watch it. So you'll just have to sit there. I'm not hooked up either. But I know.
So you're doing a replay?
No, it's just an episode. Shh, quiet. I'm going to do it now, okay?
Hush.
All right, you guys. This is going to be a little like dicey because, you know, I don't know what I'm doing mostly. But let me make this quick transition over there now.
You're not doing a quick transition, by the way.
What do you
We've got
mean
a lot of dead air happening here.
Hey, don't get mouthy. All right, check it out. We'll be back. 3 minutes. I don't know. Hang on. God. What happened? All right, hang on.
You didn't put sound?
I don't know why.
What are you doing this for?
I don't think that worked.
Yeah. Scrap it.
Everyone can hear you, so, you know, be nice. Oh, dang. All right, hang on. I don't understand why that didn't work. That bums me out. Sorry, guys. I don't know why that didn't work. That's so weird.
Are you worried we don't have enough to talk about? You want to replay stuff?
No, dude, that's not why. That's not what I'm worried about.
Can you articulate why?
I just wanted to show people that I wanted to show people. I wanted to tease it.
But it didn't work?
I don't know why the sound didn't come on. It doesn't make any sense. It should have come on.
Okay.
It's very upsetting.
Let's just talk about stuff like normal. I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people in the chat are very sad. R.I.P. your mug. That's adorable.
I know. It's the worst.
Fellbombling said the pro-Baldoni morons are so desperate to attack Ryan and Blake that they're now offended that Ryan joked or was rude to a child reporter at TIFF. The guy literally bent down to the child's eye level. I don't know. There's nothing that guy's going to ever be able to do where they're not going to criticize him for it.
Hang on a second. The pro-Baldoni morons are so desperate to attack Ryan and Blake, they're now offended that Ryan joked, was rude to a child reporter at TIFF. The guy literally bent down to the child's eye level. Well, I mean, of course, they're delusional, right? They're doing absolutely crazy shit. And yeah, it's very upsetting. What?
It's just funny how, like, I don't know why anybody gives a fuck. Like, why does anybody care?
I can't understand
why does anybody care about, like, they're following. Okay, they dislike Ryan Reynolds, but they're spending all of their time tracking every single thing he does. It's like obsessive, like a stalker or something. It's just so strange. Like, if I didn't like somebody, if I didn't like a celebrity, I wouldn't go track every single thing that they do. Why would I engage in something I don't like? It's kind of twisted. I don't understand this. You know?
I don't either.
I don't get it either.
It's absolute crazy to me. I don't get it.
Mary is with us.
Hi, Mary.
She has defined for us some of these words. Remediate.
Yes.
Verb. Provide a remedy for, redress, or make right.
Right.
Mitigation.
Yeah.
Noun. The action of reducing the severity, seriousness, or painfulness of something.
Yeah.
Mary said, I don't see anything in mediate and mitigate that suggests smear. Well, remediate is the word, not mediate. And it's mitigation. Mitigation and remediation is what we're dealing with.
Well, first of all,
suggest a smear campaign. Here's the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the thing. This is how it goes. Okay, so publicists are allowed, like legally, they're allowed to help their own client's reputation.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to sort of, change the narrative in order to help their client look a little bit better in a conflict.
They spin. It's called a spin.
It's a spin.
Yeah.
Exactly. What they're not allowed to do is attack or target another person. They're only supposed to be working on their own client's work, their own client's reputation. So when you see all of these mitigation and remediation targeted at Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds or Taylor Swift or anybody that is not their own client, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, Wayfarer, whatever, then that is what they're not allowed to do. That makes them liable for defamation when they do any of that stuff. So this is why you see in all of these evidence, like the text messages and the emails between them, that they're trying to constantly hide everything. They say, most importantly, this is all untraceable. No fingerprints is what they say to each other. And it's because they need to make sure that what they're doing can't be traced back to them, because then they'll be legally liable for it.
Context matters. So when you say remediate and you're talking about fucking mold, then it's about mold. When you're talking about remediating, facts that are unfavorable or unsavory to your client, that might have the kind of plan behind it that requires smearing in order for there to be a shift of narrative. It says change the narrative, right? So if the narrative is that Justin Baldoni fucking mistreated people on his set, if that's the narrative, and then their idea is to remediate on that narrative or on any damage coming from that narrative, then so it's all about context. Like, you can pull out a definition and then say, "Oh, look, the definition doesn't mean that these guys weren't using remediation as a tactic to or using smear tactics as a means to remediate the issues born from Justin Baldoni's problems on set." And what was the other word?
Mitigation.
Yeah, mitigation. I mean, look, if you're talking about mitigating the damage that's done to you, right? If that's what the mitigation is about.
Yeah, that would be fine. All of this would be fine if they were talking about their own client.
What I'm saying though is that
but they're not.
You might start finding ways to mitigate that involve, again, either smearing the campaign or changing the fucking narrative.
See, what they're also talking about in the emails with each other is starting threads of theories. Literally, that's lying. You're not allowed to lie about people and not be liable for defamation.
We need something like this, he said.
And he shared with them. He directed them to invent a story using, but for an example, a completely different celebrity. And he's saying that we need something like this to attack Blake Lively in a similar way.
And just to put it all in context, if I may, to put it all in context, we need something like this, he said, as he presented to them a picture or a meme of Hailey Bieber being a bully to women. And he said, we need something like this. Not Blake Lively is like this. Not Blake Lively does this.
Even if he did. They're not allowed to do that.
Still, it doesn't matter. It's still a fucking vastly different thing.
Absolutely.
Because in that situation, his perspective, you could start calling to his perspective.
He's fucking lying.
You could be like, hey, you know what? Look how damaged he is. Because look at what she has done.
Yeah.
But that's not what he said. What he said is, let's make it up if we have to. In the same way that he did in those other extremely revealing texts or that correspondence that came out recently in Discovery, where he's literally saying, let's paint a completely untrue and absolute utter lie about Ryan Reynolds because we can twist the facts, we can change the narrative. And all of those things are things that would mitigate and did mitigate any fucking fallback. Justin Baldoni was historically a horrible dude. He got sued by a man who claimed that Justin Baldoni discriminated against him and then later retaliated after he brought those discrimination claims to bear when he brought them to Justin Baldoni and to the company and said these things are happening, all over texts of him supporting protests in Black Lives Matter, basically. Justin Baldoni was accused of stealing from a cystic fibrosis patient who wrote a screenplay that is amazingly similar to 5 Feet Apart. Well, somebody sued him, and you know this about this. Travis Flores sued Justin Baldoni. Look it up. This is this guy's history. And then you guys want to talk about and the way that they break apart, Blake Lively is by a Forbes interview where she talks about how her old ambitious self used to show up as an actor and try to work her way into these other roles, but she found that didn't work because it, in her own words, felt like she might be pulling the rug out from under these guys. So she changes her tactic. They didn't, go on to listen to the whole thing, where now she instead makes everything up front and known, as she did with the Wayfair situation, and it ends with us.
She's just describing her ambition, which everybody has in that industry.
But they show up here supporting and screaming for just justice for Justin, and this guy has the terrible history. He's the guy doing the bad stuff, has the history of doing the bad stuff. And and I'm talking about shit contextually. I'm not talking about fucking getting married at a plantation or any other stupid shit. And by the way, he's got plenty of that too. Just read his fucking book. All you got to do is read his book if you want to bring up shit in his past about how he didn't take no for a fucking answer.
I just think that it's really telling when you see what Stephanie Jones was saying that she was going to do for the Wayfarer parties, when she was talking about how she was going to handle their crisis publicity,
Yeah.
That she was going to do a crisis management or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the way that she describes it, she'll use something similar like remediation and mitigation and stuff. But what she's talking about is very narrowly focused on her client. She does also talk about shifting the narrative, but she's talking about it very narrowly focused on her client and the situation. What these guys are doing, and the reason why it's bad, first of all, remediation and mitigation is brought up in the context of Jed Wallace, where he was saying that he wasn't doing any of those things. And everybody is saying that they're hiring him specifically because he's the best at doing those things.
Yeah.
And then they're crediting him for all of the smear campaign results.
Calling him a magician.
Right. So, no, but they're saying all credit to Jed and his team is what's in those emails. So this is why this is coming up in this conversation.
Right.
Because we're talking about new evidence of Jed Wallace and how he was involved in the smear campaign.
Correct.
But the biggest difference between what Stephanie Jones was going to do for her clients and why Stephanie Jones said that they should not use Melissa Nathan is because Melissa Nathan is willing to do these same things to her client, but she's willing to do it to attack other people.
Yeah.
And this is why they're in a fucking lawsuit for it. Yeah. Stephanie Jones would have protected her clients from getting into a lawsuit because she knows better. But Melissa Nathan doesn't give a fuck. No. Melissa Nathan was going to give them the Amber Heard treatment, where they were like, okay, well, let's attack her and make everybody ridicule her and bring out the fucking internet's worst ghouls for your benefit to attack Blake Lively. And all you guys are fucking buying it. And it's crazy. We haven't seen this happen just not that long ago with somebody else. Whether you think Amber Heard was liable or not, whether you think that the lawsuit, the court case worked in the way that it should have or not, everybody can agree that what happened to her online was ghastly.
Ghastly.
And here it is happening again. And you guys are somehow you think that it's fucking sincere? It's really crazy.
Well, I mean, it's turned into the Team Johnny and the team, it's a fucking, everybody, it's all just a divisive world that we live in. And I'm not really helping when I get all worked up like that. But I just it blows my mind. I get so, I'm exhausted by the obvious, why people are following the obvious wrong path. This couldn't be more obvious that this woman is a target of him. It doesn't matter whether or not you agree with her SH claims or whether or not those claims were valid based on, the stories coming from both sides. That's what the process was supposed to take care of within Wayfarer and within the production and the company. That was a company issue.
Yeah.
That got blown out of proportion because they didn't take care of it, because they didn't remedy the problem, and instead they retaliated in it. That's what created this incredibly elevated situation.
I also think it's really fucking weird that everybody isn't taking like a step back and looking at the broader view. Everybody is attacking Blake Lively because they say that she destroyed Justin Baldoni. But Justin Baldoni just made a shit ton of money off of a very, very successful film release, a film which he continues to own, that he never lost any stake in. He has always controlled every asset associated with that film, him and Sony with the business partnership that they created. Blake Lively hasn't interfered in any of that. I don't know what anybody is trying to get justice for Justin Baldoni for.
If he didn't,
it has not been articulated.
If he didn't have control of any aspect, then Sony did. So if he had umbrage with anyone over that, if he has issue, that issue has to be with Sony, even if Blake is the catalyst for it. Even if she's the antagonist, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, because I'll use your fucking language, people who are like ready to bash this woman and put her into the ground. I'll use your fucking language. I'll use all the horrible language that you can use to describe this woman. And even if I do, you can still land in the same space, which is that Justin Baldoni lost control of his set. Justin Baldoni did not take care of claims that were made not only by Blake Lively, but by other people. Justin Baldoni has a history of doing that. So this is not out of character, out of the norm. It seems actually to be something that he does all too often.
And then retaliating too.
Yeah, and talking about all of it, it just blows my mind that we're not having the conversation around the fact that it doesn't matter whether or not you like her. It doesn't matter whether or not you agree with her allegations. It does not matter if you think her allegations are stupid or shallow or even if you think her allegations had a motive. It doesn't matter, because if her allegations had a motive, if she was wrongfully accusing Justin Baldoni in some attempt to do something that she's never done before in her fucking entire 20 years in Hollywood, working with some of the best people in the fucking business at the very top of the fucking order, right? And suddenly she's turns into this fucking crazy person who's going to take over this.
And she's so fucking wealthy that she could create her own opportunities too.
Yeah, she's so powerful. She can, exactly. It's just the madness around it is unrelenting. It's bottomless. It's fucking bottomless.
But you were going to say, I think that like, even if you think that she did any of these things,
it all still happens the same way. They complained. Wayfair did nothing about it except retaliate. And the retaliation led to a CRD complaint that led to a lawsuit. And that's the way that goes if you don't take care of business when the business happens. Every single company that has any reasonable size in this country is faced with some kind of HR allegation, whether it's SH or some other kind, discrimination, whatever it is. It's not uncommon for people to complain about something that happened at work with another worker or with somebody who's in management. This is not uncommon. That's why we have HR departments in the fucking first place. That's why there's a CRD out there in the first fucking place. And they work together to create safe work environments, and they work together to resolve issues that arise in work environments, to remedy those, to mitigate any issues that might be forming or brewing, or habits that might have gotten out of control, or just loose lips, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So when you don't fucking do that, and look, it's an opportunity that's given to you when these things arise to solve, remedy, and batten down the hatches when it comes to these kinds of things.
I think it's actually a really great, a cautionary tale for filmmakers. I think everybody should talk about this and how Justin Baldoni totally fucked up his own fucking production by not handling these fucking complaints properly when they happen.
Dude, biggest fumble. I've never seen anybody lose so much so fast over such stupidity.
Which is weird, because here's the thing: is he literally didn't lose anything. He lost his head is what he did, but he didn't lose his film. He lost
his future.
Yeah, he lost his opportunities.
I'm going to say it again. Justin Baldoni had everything. He had it all. He had an A-list actor in a fucking best-selling intellectual property, right? Adaptation of an best-selling IP.
Yeah.
Then directing, starring, and producing this fucking movie that was a $26 million investment combined. Well, not combined. There's P&A in there, but amazing numbers. $26 million budget, turns into a $340 million box office smash. That is literally earth-shattering amazing.
And he went and attacked his star before he ever knew about that profit either. Like he went and attacked her the week before they premiered, so he never even knew how successful it was going to be. I wonder whether all those numbers started rolling in, and he was like, "Oh, well,
yeah,
I guess I'm in it now."
I mean, the problem with him is that he didn't. He. It seems to be. I don't know him obviously, so I'm just speculating at this point. But the problem seems to be that this guy had no fucking foresight at all. He had no forethought. Like, he just never understood what happens next, it seems. It just seems to me like he did not think ahead. That maybe the Baha'i faith and all of his praying and all whatever he does there, maybe that got him too much in the present. Yeah, because when you're doing business at the level that Wayfarer was doing business at, you got to be 10 fucking steps ahead of everything to make it to the finish line clean. And to make it to the finish line clean isn't to say that you aren't going to deal with these kinds of obstacles, these kinds of problems, these kinds of issues, and they might be brought up against you, the proprietor. And if that happens, you need to be able to face those. You need to come to terms with them immediately if you want to protect this incredibly brilliant opportunity that he and his partners had somehow put together for themselves. Phenomenal. And to let it all go, like I said, there's so many different ways that he could have recovered. First of all, that statement, signing that statement, that would have been the ultimate recovery right there.
Well, he should have edited that statement for sure.
Of course, you want to negotiate on that statement, which we've talked about a lot on this channel, but like that statement was of the Golden Bridge that you like to talk about.
Yeah, you're talking about the statement that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds sent him on August 12th. This was like right after, no, not August 12th. I can't remember. Whatever. It was in August, right after the premiere. Yeah. Where they were basically like, we want you, Justin Baldoni, to publicly state what all the parties involved do know. Everybody agrees. Everybody understands that the cast wanted to walk separately from Justin Baldoni. So Blake Lively was like, hey, here's a statement that's like a draft of like something you could put out as a press release that might make you look good and also acknowledge the fact that your cast didn't want to walk with you. And if you do that publicly, since everybody's on the same page about this, you could just publicize it. Yeah. Then it would potentially take the heat off of Blake Lively, because at that point she didn't know why everybody was attacking her so much. Now we know, because we've seen the evidence of all of Justin Baldoni's publicists and their whole team conspiring against her constantly. Like, they're working so hard. They've been paid $30,000 a month for 3 months to attack Blake Lively. Yeah. She didn't know that. So she was like, yo, Justin Baldoni, can you just publicly say what happened, since we all know what happened?
That's the wildest thing about the whole contrast, because it's utterly fascinating that there was this underbelly of things, because when you put all the parts together, which includes his red carpet walk, where on that occasion he's praising Blake Lively. Yeah. He's sitting there calling her like that she's in a breakthrough moment, that she's going to direct, that she was his rock through the whole shoot, that she was there for him when he was overwhelmed by wearing all these hats all at once, when he was too much in character to know the difference between a director and an actor in that moment, being a director and being an actor in that moment. He did all of that. He praised her to the fucking heavens, while at that very moment engaging in a crisis PR smear campaign, where he literally said to the prospective crisis PR personnel that he wants to know that this person who they might hire can bury Blake Lively.
It's also transparent too, like those pictures that he took of him in the basement, air quotes, basement, whatever, the fucking green room. Yes. That he chose to go into with his entourage. Yeah. The first people to receive those pictures were his publicists. Yeah. Like, it's so obvious, like he's taking them for them, because they've already started to mount an attack, and they're trying to build a narrative about how he was forced into a fucking basement instead of somebody who just like went and used a green room instead of going to a bar down the street. Fucking across the street.
Across the street.
If you look at the map, like, I don't know.
Well, so what? It doesn't even matter. These guys can get in cars and go down the block. They were in Midtown. There's plenty of amazing.
I know. He had
places.
drivers, that dropped them off for his big meet and greet in the front of the theater.
Also, nobody was asked to sit on fucking pallets of water.
No, that he.
Nobody
it's
was
so
asked
offensive to me that those women are dressed so elegantly, and he corralled them all and made them sit on cases of water on pallets, so that he could make like a smirk, like this knowing smirk in that photo.
And there's what's interesting to me, because he literally just got off that. This is how much of a full of shit human being this guy is. He just got off the carpet praising her to the public.
Yeah. And he needs to take some pictures.
Took these pictures specifically to embarrass her, specifically to use them as a weapon against her. Moments later, dude, this guy is a piece of fucking work.
But it's a perfect example, because he chose to go into that green room. He chose to take those pictures. He chose to send them to his publicists, right? Okay? Yeah. And he's scapegoating her for the whole thing. He chose to go into the basement, or whatever the fuck he wants to call it. Well, but he's saying that she forced him to.
I want to make this clear. I want to make this clear, because I don't know that you're right, Angela. He might not have, that might have been the place that got designated for him.
Okay, what I'm saying is he could have just gone to a bar across the street, or a restaurant, or any of those. There. What I'm saying is he scapegoated Blake Lively for those choices. Yeah. Just like he's scapegoating Blake Lively for, when she's accusing him of being improper, when she's accusing Jamie Heath of improper conduct on the set, okay? Like looking at her naked after she told him not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're scapegoating her for those bad choices that they make. And I'm just saying, it just continues all the way through the premiere.
Just want to remind people to like the live, especially when we have Team Baldoni amongst us, because they are typically quite cruel, and they try to hit that dislike button as much as possible. They're very diligent about it.
I know. It's if you dislike something, you could just leave.
Yeah.
You don't have to mark your dislike.
Unfortunately, they're given facility, they're given agency to be able to, because we have a difference of opinion, to try and harm my live, our live. But I would love very much if you guys would, well, then go, Sabina, get out of here. Nobody's asking you to be here. Hit the dislike button and go.
I know. There's a lot of people making content that you'd prefer.
Yeah, go hang out with people you want to hang out with. Nobody's asking you. Let me help you, actually. I don't really need to see your fucking remarks.
Fellbombling is asking, is Jed Wallace going to get away with this shit that he has done to Lively, or will they eventually chase him down? I'm worried that he was able to avoid discovery for some reason. Did I understand that? He's still trying to navigate discovery. He failed at keeping some things sealed or redacted, so those things got released. But there's other things he's saying were deleted by the Signal app that he doesn't have record of. But that might cause problems for him, because if he wasn't actively preserving evidence after the lawsuit started, he could be liable for that.
Yeah,
I don't really know how it goes, but yeah, he's still fighting discovery.
I'm just gonna hide people that get me upset. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is my space to have fun with some people I really enjoy hanging out with.
Cosmic
if you can't come out here and bring not bring insults, then you're getting fucking axed.
The dog is snoring.
Yeah, well, that was actually from the ether, an approval.
Cosmic Urgency said, I enjoyed the revenge on Amber Heard. I didn't. I thought it was fucking dirty. I feel like the same thing I feel about this case. Let it all come out in the courtroom. We don't have to be attacking people on fucking social media. It's really interesting. Yeah. Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively have provided this evidence, and it has become public, and it is provided for scrutiny. It's provided for the court scrutiny, mainly. But of course, in Justin Baldoni's side's case, they've provided it for public scrutiny.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's fair to do that. I'm not really sure why everybody's on board with the mocking. Amber Heard was just relentlessly mocked. And even if you feel like somebody is lying on the witness stand, I don't know that it's ever okay to mock anybody's testimony where they're talking about being assaulted. It just seems like a really fucking dirty, disgusting thing to do.
If I might add, look, here's the thing. There's one thing when there's something organic happening. In other words, look, people are going to speak. It is what it is. So if there are just people who are organically like, oh my God, look at what this woman did or whatever and said and whatever, that is what it is. But if there's a concerted effort by publicists, if there's an organized, financed, malicious with a malicious intent campaign to put out her faux pas and her mistakes and all this other stuff, and to shed her in a light that is, disparaging and demeaning.
We know Melissa Nathan was working for Johnny Depp.
That's where I'm saying it's bullshit.
And this is how she got the reputation for people who want to destroy women in the press, right? You work with Melissa Nathan. For people who want to avoid a publicist who's going to get your client in trouble, like Stephanie Jones warned Wayfarer, do not work with Melissa Nathan.
Yeah.
Because she's like, it's not just like they don't like her dark arts. There's like, she's literally gotten them into a fucking, she's gotten them into a fucking lawsuit. She told Justin Baldoni to lawyer up. A publicist should never say.
I can't even believe it. But look, I say in my preface that no publicists are involved, because that is the level that they play. You're right when you think it shouldn't happen, but you're wrong if you think that this is abnormal. It is not. Publicists are deeply engaged in dispute. That's a part of their function.
Yeah, they get paid. That's the thing, is like Justin Baldoni is such an idiot when the crisis manager is telling you to continue your crisis. It's because they have a vested interest in getting paid for that.
You sit across from fucking Friedman, you're like, so let me ask you, should we sue everyone?
Yeah. Brian Friedman is like,
he's not going to be like, well, no, I don't think you should. He's going to be like,
is that check good?
Absolutely,
well, then yes.
we should at least investigate.
Spent a long time, many logged hours.
Do you understand the process of discovery? Let me explain it to you and why it's going to be your best friend. It's just ridiculous.
Anyway, this concludes our 5-hour meeting. Right. He's like, anytime you guys need to call me, I'm available. Because that's billable hours.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my rant for the day on Justin Baldoni. It's just like, it just drives me absolutely crazy that people can't see the. I just wish that we could live in a world where the majority. Here's the thing, like when you go on Reddit and you look at Baldoni Files, which is, I guess, the Pro Lively sub. I have a hard time going Pro Lively, Team Baldoni, like that. I just hate being put in that category. I don't want to be categorized as that. I want to be categorized as somebody who's observing something and then having an opinion on it. And because I don't know Blake Lively. Blake Lively is not my friend. She does not have any involvement in this, or obviously, and and I don't want her to. Do you know what I mean? Like this is us. We're having a conversation. We're observing things. I don't know. I kind of lost my way. I apologize. Sometimes I just knock myself out of my own shit.
Lisa's with us.
Yeah, I think she's in and out, I think.
Hi guys, happy Friday. I'm tearing myself away from reading your amazing book to hang out here. So cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting some book love today, man. I it comes in these moments when I need it the most. It's just, it's tough, when you put yourself out there that way, and I had dreams for this book and they're not being fulfilled, and that's okay because I'm patient. Yeah, I understand that this is like a marathon. But, it's been a tough month. It's been a tough summer. I kind of knew it was coming astrologically. The weather was right for all this to be slow right now and just be like walking through mud.
It's also eclipse season too, so everything's going to feel real fucking weird.
Well, and then, that's, in terms of the year, but just, or in the moment, but the year as well. Kindly DiCaprio's loving the book. Yeah, I got this.
Lisa said, God, you take me back. Says, I've been texting with Jerry. I'm back inside the Don's Plum Vortex.
That's very funny.
What were you going to say?
I haven't talked to Jerry in a week or so. Hope he's doing all right.
Kindly DiCaprio is asking, do many Hollywood people sue each other over movies? I'd be so scared of that happening.
It happens fairly. Yeah, I mean, America is the most litigious country in the world, I think.
I think it's weird that Justin Baldoni was sued so many times in just 5 years. Like he had 2 lawsuits before Blake Lively ever met him.
Yeah.
That's a little weird. That's pretty frequent, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, that's problematic. I don't know that people ever deal with lawsuits that often. No, sometimes it happens.
They got inside. So they formed that company in 2020, and by 2024 they had already had 3 lawsuits, and more if you count all the other lawsuits that have sprung out of this one. But just in terms of principal main, sort of complaints, they've been sued 3 times in 5 years. Guys, that's a really bad track record. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody wants to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
They're too busy talking about how Blake Lively pulls the rug out from under directors. It's just fucking ridiculous. This guy has a history of abuse. He has a history of retaliation. He has a history of stealing. He has a history of lying.
Yeah.
And it's getting
that's true. He was the Shane Norman case. They sued him for fraud.
That's right. And you and I talked about this last a couple of lives ago, but it's always worth repeating. It's incredible that Brian Friedman represented Travis Flores against Justin Baldoni. Travis Flores spoke out about how he felt like he got bad representation.
Yep.
That he got forced into a settlement with Justin Baldoni by Brian Friedman.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the whole fucking arena and you say, okay, well, why would that happen? Brian Friedman is looking across the table.
He's like, these guys are money bags.
At money bags. Yes. And then he's looking over at cystic fibrosis guy who is going to pass away in a short amount of time.
And is not money bags.
And the total box office on 5 Feet Apart is $100 million. That's the total box office. So the most you're going to get out of that is 50. And then if you're lucky, and then if there's 50, that's your producer's gross.
Bro, that's so fucked up. That's so wrong. That Brian Friedman made him settle when he didn't even want to.
Didn't want to settle, and then goes on to represent after this man's dead. Because he wanted to represent Justin Baldoni and the Billionaire.
He wanted to make a good impression on the money bags.
I think he was lining up a client.
Yep.
Because he knows that litigation will follow. First of all, he sees what they're doing.
Yeah, he's like, these guys will steal property.
Yeah, these guys are going to need
representation.
They're going to need representation. Like, it's ugly when you look at it and you think it's a reason. This is not unreasonable what we're doing right now in terms of this speculation. And it is a speculation. It's our opinion only. And it's for entertainment purposes, of course. We're just here to entertain. We're just fucking monkeys in a tree. Have you ever seen a monkey in a tree?
Yes, I have seen a monkey in a tree.
Because you've been to Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah, they have monkeys that are like little and so cute, and they're like squirrels. But all the locals are like done with them because you sit at like an outdoor cafe and they come up onto your table and steal your shit, steal all your food and stuff, trash the place.
In Guatemala, we climbed to the highest pyramid, and actually, it's a funny thing. We got to Tikal, and our one of our ADs, I guess, I can't remember what he was freaking out because he was scared about gear not making it over the border. So he couldn't get a reception because we're in the middle of a jungle. We're staying in a resort in a jungle where literally it runs on a generator. Generators. Anyway, this dude decides he's got to go and try and find reception at like 4 a.m. We're all just drunk. He goes at 5 a.m, whatever it is. He's running through the jungle in the dark. I'm like, dude, there's panthers. He's running through the jungle. He climbs this high pyramid, and at the top of the pyramid is a signal.
What?
So he calls dude at the airport because they needed something or whatever, and he ended up like creating he ended up remedying a situation that got our cameras across the border.
Dale, we were talking about monkeys.
And I dubbed that pyramid, a cell tower. And so I climbed the cell tower pyramid to call you. And when I got to the top, there were monkeys in a tree.
What kind of monkeys?
I don't know. I'm not a monkey expert. The ones that swing from trees. And
were they really loud?
It was like a baby monkey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like super like tiny. Yeah. And I could have sat there all day and watched the whole thing. It was a fucking best.
Are baby monkeys called baby monkeys? Do they have a different name?
I mean, I don't know.
They're not like pups.
Infant monkey? Pups? No.
I don't know.
They're primates. You can call a primate a pup?
I don't know. I'll call you a pup. You can't
stop
me.
What do they call whales? They call them calves.
Yes, calves.
Because they're, mammals. Mm-hmm. Not that, well, listen, I don't know. All I know is that monkeys in a tree. I don't know. I'm sorry. I digressed.
Kindly DiCaprio wants to know if Jay Ferguson is nice IRL.
No idea. I haven't known him in 30 years.
Was he nice then?
Yeah, I loved him.
Back then?
Yeah,
he was a nice guy?
We went camping a few times, and so that's kind of like right up my alley. You know me, with camping, I love that shit.
Yeah, you love camping.
So he and I went camping a few times, and yeah, he was a good friend, man. It was sad. I never saw him again, bro. I never ever saw him again. Fucking dick. Sorry if I'm making noise with my mic.
Are you?
Yeah, well,
Don't.
because
Stop
something's
it.
sliding off.
I feel kind of low energy. I feel like I'm not putting
What
on.
do you?
I'm not doing my best tonight. Like I can't find my words very
Gotta get
well.
you some monk fruit.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm having a little bit of a food coma situation.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you need to come out of it, Missy.
I know. I do. I know.
Let me go and look and see what's going on my thumbnail. But look, is that all the Baldoni?
I think so.
Baldoni news.
I think so. There's going to be more though. This, there might even be more tonight because it's Friday. It's Friday. TGIF.
It is Friday. It is. I just don't understand. Like people show up here and they're like, I don't understand how people are completely void of any ability. How so many people are void of any ability to go out and actually gain some facts. Somebody shows up in a comment on one of the shorts that I published, and in the short, they. I forget what the short is about, but they said in their comment that. Do you remember what it was? I had you respond to it.
Just today. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, they said that. They said Blake Lively never told them that she wanted to be a producer.
At first.
Right,
because we in the short we talked about it because as we do so often.
Because you mentioned it and they were trying to correct you. They were like, "Well, you're obviously wrong because she never did."
The comment was so fucking ridiculous. They told me that you and I have come late to the party because they don't know what they talk about. That's what these people are.
No,
I know. They don't know what they talk about. We started this when the fucking dispute began.
I know.
We began our coverage.
That was like a million years
ago. On TikTok. We were kids.
And it's just like, it's always a little bit annoying and simultaneously delightful to show them the evidence from Justin Baldoni's own filings.
Yeah, it was the best part because
even he says it, guys. Like,
dude, I read the comment. And I just looked at Angela. I was like, "Will you just take care of this?
Yeah,
this individual."
Like you're making allegations that he's not even making. Like, what you guys are so twisted up in your heads. You're just like it's a creative exercise at this point.
Yeah.
No, you're just like making stuff up. He doesn't even care about.
So some of the other things that I have to cover is Sydney Sweeney is lobbying for an Oscar. So this is so interesting, right? So I think it was Cosmic Urgency or somebody said. I think it was Cosmic Urgency yesterday said Sydney Sweeney's movie didn't have a distributor, so they're going to self-distribuute.
The Christy Martin movie.
Yeah. So the distributor Black Bear, I don't know what the heck they're called. Anyway, this is their first movie. They're just going to put it out now. Bear Sheets. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm stupid. I don't know. Anyway, whatever this fucking company is, and I wish them all luck, but so I say that with
I don't know it.
Every bit of respect.
I didn't save it.
It's a newly formed company. I don't know if that, I think Cosmic said that they're going to self-distribute, so that would make sense that it would be a newly formed company. Anyway, they're lobbying for an Oscar already. I don't think they're going to do real well with this because like an early lobby for an Oscar, we're in we're in early September. And it's super early for Oscar buzz, even at TIFF.
They have to spend a lot of money on an Oscar run. Like that was one of the reasons that like everybody was really upset that Coleman Domingo was snubbed from the Oscars because he kind of had great presence in the other. What are the other like award shows that lead up to the Oscars? I can't remember. Like, it's the Golden Globes and then
SAG Awards.
And then yeah, right. So anyway, and it's just because it's simply that the studios aren't putting money behind an Oscar push. What is it called? It's like a huge marketing endeavor.
Yeah,
where they have to spend like $3 million or some shit trying to earn an actor.
LA is like just completely covered in billboards. You know this by living there when we live there, but it's for your consideration everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
They spend millions, tens of millions of dollars in for your consideration all over the country. But in the major markets, New York and LA, they just spend, it's just a crazy amount of money.
So the Oscars are not as compelling to me as like, wins because I feel like it's just politics. Like they're paying for an Oscar campaign. And then I don't know, like You haven't noticed that everybody that wins an award thanks the same agents? There's like 2 agencies that ever get mentioned. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I don't know.
It is what it is, but I just find it interesting that they're lobbying for the Oscar already. And look, it's not like, I think there was like some buzz about Margot Robbie in I, Tonya. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Which I loved and she was amazing in. So there was and she got nominated for. So there was talk, I think, of that, so it's not like completely unheard of. I mean, these festivals obviously have always been a source of buzz leading into award season. So they're not like out of place, but it just seems it's really aggressive. It's just weird. She's had 2 box office bombs back to back. She had an ad campaign that has got a lot of people thinking that she's racist to the bone.
But apparently it was a successful ad campaign
according to American
Eagle, company made a bunch of money off of it.
They reported.
So does that make her more marketable?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so because you have, first of all, I don't know who buys American Eagle jeans. Maybe that demographic, because I mean, there's a lot of Americans, tens and tens and tens of millions of Americans that are into the whole good jeans messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is very possible. And they look, Donald Trump like sells Bibles and umbrellas and I don't know what he sells. He sells everything. Shoes. What does he sell? He sells everything. He's always got a new product for these people to buy. Steaks. Fucking steaks. So, Donald Trump, if Donald Trump could do it, so can Sydney Sweeney. So that's not a real big indicator for me. What was an indicator for me was her flops in the box office. Back-to-back flops and no real effort from the studios.
I don't know why it's like, I feel like that's not the whole story because those movies that you're talking about that she was in, were they even marketed? Did anybody even know they were released?
Well, we talked about this. It's like a
financial decision that they made to either put money behind the marketing or not.
Yeah, the reason they might not have marketed is because she has taken such a hit reputationally over the jeans ad.
Well, now you're just talking about the movie that hasn't been released yet. But the ones that already have been released.
I'm talking about the ones that have already been released.
Yeah, but
maybe they didn't get the marketing push because of the jeans ad.
Baby, that was before the jeans ad came out. This is the only movie that is happening since the jeans ad.
That's not true. Look it up. That's not true. The releases came after, both of them, and their box office. But okay, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Say it's not the jeans ad. She's still bombing in the box office. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whether it's the fucking jeans ad or not. None of that matters.
But doesn't it matter whether they put marketing money behind those movies at all?
I don't know why people would be putting her in the starring role and putting her in theatrical release, putting her on a slate for theatrical release if they didn't anticipate prior to their release that she had some appeal. That she has back-to-back box office flops is either extraordinarily bad taste or there's something wrong with Sydney Sweeney in the box office. I just
think there's more to the story than that.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except to tell you what might be happening based on the actual, So, but this, where I was going with all this was that, their publicist is being super aggressive. There's a TMZ article that reads very much like a Placed article.
It is so fluffy. Yeah, it's true.
It's the most fluffiest thing ever.
Yeah, I know.
Calling her like a marketing sensation.
I know.
Saying that she's going to walk away with gold with this, and that the movie Christy is going to be a box office sensation. It can't be. They have and I say this with all due respect, they have this distributor that's a brand new distributor. A first-time distributor is not going to have a box office smash hit. It's just not going to happen because they're not even going to get the exhibitors. Exhibitors are not going to buy the theater from them. It's not going to fucking happen. That is controlled. I mean, I know this. I distributed a movie in theaters by my own hand. It's fucking brutal. And and when I say brutal, I mean that if you can't compete, look, they're going to fucking put up the Sony movies and they're going to put up the Paramount movies and the Fox movies, all the major studio movies. That's who's going to get the screens. They're going to give this fucking company the screens just because Sydney Sweeney is really great in it. And even if Sydney Sweeney is going to be really great in it, there's no chance that it's going to be a giant box office smash. Almost no chance it's going to be a giant box office smash because it's a woman boxer movie. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think $1 Million Baby, which won the Oscar, was a big box office smash.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, but it could have been. But I don't think so. But it could have been. I think it was an awards hit. So I think it got the boosts off the awards and all this other stuff.
I think this is a really great comparison.
I'm talking to my ass. Like
$1 Million Baby and I, Tonya, right?
Yeah.
Like, why shouldn't they think that she could win something? She's a really excellent actor. So
she
maybe.
is, yeah.
And I'm really interested in the Christy Martin story. I'm seated for that film. I want to know what it's like. I want to know how she does.
Yeah, like I'm personally not offended by Sydney Sweeney. I don't really think about her. And I don't. I mean, she's in the news, and so we're talking about it because it's kind of it's very interesting to me.
I also think
it's another
that
fumble for me. Like I'm seeing this woman kind of just fumble.
I know it sucks. I also think that TMZ article that you're referencing, which is so fluffy.
Oh my God.
It's such a like, what do they call it? A puff piece? Is that what they say? When it's just like all sunshine and rainbows about a person. Is that what they call it? A puff piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's really, really great example for what Justin Baldoni's publicist could have done for him. Like, they could have completely dominated the eyeballs of all of the social media with nothing but fluff and like sunshine and rainbows about Justin Baldoni. But instead, they wanted to attack Blake Lively because that's what he directed them to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it could have been that all anybody ever talked about was how Justin Baldoni, even though he's accused of these bad things on the set, there's no way possible that man who is the Man Enough brand, who is the like pro-feminism, anti-toxic masculinity guy could ever be accused of the things that Blake Lively is accusing him of. And if he had a good publicist, that's what would have happened. They would have just like enhanced and elevated his reputation and not even touched hers. And everybody else could make deductions about how if he's such a great person, that makes her a liar. You know what I mean? Everybody could have just done that themselves instead of the publicist doing it. It's just really strange that their decision was to attack her and then also change the narrative to talk about her friends and her relationships with her friends.
Yeah.
They totally left Justin Baldoni like to the side. They're not trying to improve his reputation at all. Nobody's even fucking talking about him. They wanted him to be forgotten. And I think that it's really...
Well, because it's kind of genius because the idea is that if you turn all these people rabidly against her, then they're going to elevate Justin in their narrative because they want to
But they hardly are doing that at all.
No,
and what I'm saying is that
justice for Justin. I mean, it doesn't have to have substance. It doesn't. It has no substance. They don't have any fucking substance. Somebody literally showed up in our chat today and said that that Blake Lively never asked for a producer credit at the beginning of...
And he says that she did.
On the website that they provided these fools.
It was in his amended complaint. That was in his own fucking lawsuit.
On that fucking website that they provided these fools.
I know.
And they come out and they say the stupid shit about the Forbes interview and...
I'm just saying it's really weird. Like you can see what Sydney Sweeney's people are trying to do to make her into a better person, a better professional, someone who is deserving of awards,
Yeah.
Somebody who's like reaching some sort of pinnacle in their career and everybody should stand around and watch it happen because it'll be dazzling.
Yeah.
They didn't do any of that shit. And I think it's not a coincidence that they didn't do any of this like improving Justin Baldoni's reputation when you can see in their emails to each other, Jennifer Abel and Melissa Nathan are exchanging emails talking about how cringy Justin Baldoni is and how they think he's like annoying and like pompous.
That's the wildest part of it. I mean, they literally have...
They think he's fucking arrogant and annoying.
People on his side
yes,
saying the same things that Blake Lively is saying.
I know. I think that's why they were more interested in attacking a woman because they didn't want to defend that man. I don't know.
Insanity, man.
Kindly DiCaprio is also curious about whether you met Jeremy London.
I was friends with Jeremy for a while. I knew him pretty well. I mean, we weren't blood brothers, but yeah, man, I knew Jeremy London pretty well. I didn't know Jason all that well. I met him a couple times. That's about it. But Jeremy, I mean, he's in the book. I slept in his hotel. The Mirage. Huh?
At the Mirage.
At the Mirage. It is not what it appears to be. It is a mirage.
That's the kind of shit that Dale does around the house all the time. And when you wanted to like start, you're like, hey, I think I'm going to start posting on TikTok or something. I'm like, oh, okay, finally people are going to see like your random character work because it's so impressive. I'm always delighted by it, you know.
Jeremy London
funny.
He wasn't in Dazed and Confused. Jason London was in Dazed and Confused. Jeremy London was in Party of Five.
This is amazing. Kindly DiCaprio said, Jeremy London is a blessing to my eyes, in all caps. That's lovely.
Well, you know, if you think Jason London was in Dazed and Confused, unless I'm wrong about that.
How can you tell the difference?
By their name. Now, they actually, while they're identical twins, they're really not. I can tell them apart, hanging out with them in the same room. Artie Glacken was super close with Jason. That's really how I got to know Jason at all, was through Artie.
Here's another question for you.
Yeah.
Kindly DiCaprio wants to know, do you have any favorite producers, actors, directors, etc.?
I have some, I guess, you know. Producers, that's a tougher one. Jason London.
Jason London was in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Not Jeremy London.
That's right. But
which one was in Mallrats? Cosmic Urgency wants to know.
Jeremy London.
Jeremy London was in Mallrats.
Yes. God, I know some stuff.
The casting directors must have just been like, oh, you're not available? What about your brother? Just constantly.
I wonder if that was the true, how that went. It's interesting. I don't know. It's poor Jeremy, dude. That interview where he's just a crying mess because he had his life destroyed over the fact that he was tripping on meth and, got into a physical altercation with his wife that was witnessed. I don't recall
it being meth.
I believe it was meth. But hey, whatever. It was, maybe it was just blow. It was something like that. It was an illicit substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to know, like, what are we allowed to say about drugs on this?
I don't know. I have to go look up the guidelines. I think you can say things. There could be some restrictions. You got to be careful. I have to look it up. Yeah, I gotta look it up.
Can I tell you a story about drugs?
Well, let's hold it until I know.
Okay, it's a news story. I just thought it was really entertaining.
Do you want to hear a really cool email I got on Don's Plum? No, I won't do that. Or not Don's Plum, on Too Real. Let me see.
Don't read people's emails on lives. I don't think that's fair to do.
Yeah, you can if you don't identify them. Sure.
I know that you can, but I don't think you should.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Did you ask or not?
What?
You said, should I? And I'm saying you shouldn't. And now you don't care.
Oh, well, I wasn't asking you if I shouldn't or should.
Guilty Angel said, yeah, let's talk about drugs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you the story. Okay. There was these two dudes who went into the woods and they took hallucinogens.
Right.
And they actually needed to be rescued. And the thing that was so stunning to me is like, I don't recall that there's ever been a story where anybody ever was like actually in harm's way because they did hallucinogenic drugs. There's some that are really harsh.
So their guidelines say encouraging use, selling, showing the use of, anything to do with minors, or glorifying the use of.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
I was just saying that, like, you know how sometimes the drug experience involves you thinking, like, oh, this might not be within my control. Maybe I'm in danger or something, right?
Yes.
And then usually the sensible person around you, because you're always supposed to have a sensible person around, is like, don't worry, dude, everything's cool. Like, I got you. And even
That's why I married you.
And if you don't have one of those people, you at least know, like, okay, well, I'm sure that this is just like my mental state that's talking and I'm actually fine. Well, it turns out that these guys weren't. They had to get rescued. And I just think that that's got to be the most embarrassing and most like harrowing thing to ever happen. Like, I feel like even just like waiting for rescue must be so horrible, but also then like being carried out. Let me try to find this article. Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine having to be rescued by like authorities?
No. I never want that in my life, ever.
No.
I mean, I do if I need it. I want it very badly.
Yeah, of course. But like, how could you even gauge whether you need it or not?
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be in that situation, no. Johnny Whitworth says Cosmic Urgency was supposed to have the Jeremy London role in Party of Five, but he refused to take direction, and so he was only in one episode.
Oh,
I never knew that. Jeremy London, bro. So like, this dude, man. I was driving. We were driving somewhere. I don't know. He was driving, and he just suddenly started giving me some unsolicited advice, and it was like because he was like a regular on Party of Five, and like, I knew what I was capable of by then, and I kind of knew what I was. I just knew what I was going to be and what I was. I had a lot of confidence, and I think I said something like in the backseat about it, like I don't know, probably about like, my approach to it or something. And he proceeded to Jeremy London to give me this kind of fucking big boy, like, come to Jesus talk about how to make it in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
It was so. It's the weirdest part about this particular moment. I actually tried to write it because it was the kind of moment where I was just like, man, it was like beyond just like unsolicited advice. I don't know what was going on in Jeremy London's head that day, but it was just this like, it was like, I guess it was kind of drenched in a kind of an arrogance because he was on this hit show,
I think some people just really
weird, man.
Some people really want to be mentors, and they sort of like put on their mentor hat even when it's not wanted.
Yeah, I guess you can see why I didn't make the book because I can't articulate it even now. It is a difficult thing to try and convey because it was kind of like it finished as an energy as a
like he's trying to help you. He's trying to be helpful, but he's doing it in like this condescending way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I've experienced that before.
Very belittling and condescending about it. But,
yeah,
like
where you're like, I get you're trying to be helpful, but like
you're not really. You're just really there to boast yourself on my inexperience. You think that because I'm here as the guy with the least experience in the car, which was, we were in a car full of people, working actors. I was the guy not working, and I had something to say, and that was where it came from. I was like, but you know how I am. Like I'm first of all, I'm a really smart guy. I'm a fucking sharp tool in the shed, and I have an incredible ability to learn rapidly the things that I get interested in, like rapidly.
Yeah, that's true.
As like if I have aptitude towards something, like I learn it at a very high level and very quickly. I don't know what it is. It's a blessing in my own right or whatever, but I like it. It's very serving, but it serves me well. But occasionally, if not often, it rattles people around me who've been around longer and expect me to get in line and wait, because I don't. I don't get in line and wait. It's a flaw in my character. I don't see the point. Like, I gotta wait for you. You're slow. You're not. You know what I mean? Where was I going with this?
What does that have to do with what he said?
This is what provoked the conversation. So I brought it up in a way that I was like, oh, I have something to say. And this was at the time. This would have been right around the time when I was either shooting or cutting Don's Plum. So I was feeling reasonably confident in that. Like, I kind of knew I had a foundation of a plan. I had some kind of foundation, and I was standing on it fairly firmly. Like, I felt like I was. It was, it was the most surprising thing in my life in Hollywood in 1994 and 1995 was that I showed up and I was like, whoa, dude, and it was like all these famous or near famous people, and and I'm just hanging out with all these people, like holy fuck. And then after a few months, I was like, well, goddamn, if I don't deserve a seat at this table, like this is really what happened. I was like hanging around with these people. I was like, man, I can drink from their milkshake. You know what I mean? So I just got into it at that point. Like I started to have the confidence, started to believe in myself.
Well, so maybe he saw that too, and he just decided to give you some, some guidance.
No, it wasn't that. I know what it was.
Really?
Yeah, I know what it was.
What was it?
It was like it was like a gnarly.
He was like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like, and look, I don't even like, no grudges against him on this or anything and whatever. If we had to talk about it today, I'd be like, yeah, it was weird. I would call it dickish in some way. But not necessarily like out of line or anything. I mean, we were kids. I did a million stupid things and said a million stupid things, probably, worse than that.
But I have experienced that where somebody's just, I recognize that they're just trying to help, but I'm like, it's kind of like fucked up.
It just stayed with me. The weirdest thing is just how long it stayed with me. I mean, years later, I was like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? Like talking to myself in the shower over it. I'm like, Jeremy, bro. And, my career's already like been flushed down several toilets all over the world. And I'm still like in my head arguing that Jeremy London, he's got the wrong idea.
I wonder if you guys would get along, commiserating on
I'd get along with Jeremy London in a minute. We had a great time when we were fucking
on the unfairness of it.
Yeah, I think
both
we
your
would.
different perspectives.
Yeah. I think all of my friends back then, Johnny Whitworth, Jeremy London, fucking Jay Ferguson, Toby and Leo, if we didn't have this gnarly shit between us. Certainly me and Scott Bloom, many, many others. Yeah, I think we'd get along fabulously just as we did back then. We were great friends back then. We had a great time until this fucking gnarly shit hit. You know, until somebody realized we were all there to make movies.
Yeah, until they all decided to start attacking you for having ambition.
What do you think you're doing coming to Hollywood to try to make a movie, you fool?
Hey, look, I don't know whether the story I was telling you about the hikers was boring or not, but I kind of wanted, I found the article I was looking for, so I wanted to read this. I think this is entertaining. Should I?
Yeah. Set it up again.
Okay. So the Police Association of New York State praised the Rangers' efforts to rescue these guys.
Okay.
And this is their press release. They said, the PBA of New York State commends our Forest Ranger members in the Hudson Valley for their recent rescue of 4 hikers who were lost in a state wilderness area while experiencing a debilitating psychedelic mushroom high.
Oh.
That's so sad. The hikers text messaged for help late Friday.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
It's just debilitating.
I don't know how that's possible.
Oh my God.
What would that do? What would that be like? You just
well, it's also like it only lasts like
leave your body
5 hours or whatever. Like they could have just fucking waited. It's the summer. They're not going to freeze.
Sit still and listen. You'll have a great time.
The hikers
hold some sands, like 1 grain of sand, and just stare at it. You'll suddenly realize, holy fuck, is it Monday already? Yeah.
The hikers text messaged for help late Friday while lost in the Slide Mountain Wilderness near a giant ledge. Maybe that's why. Slide Mountain Wilderness near Giant Ledge.
Slide Mountain, like meaning like you're gonna fall off.
It sounds all dangerous. Like if I was like trying to screenwrite a location that was like super dangerous to hike in.
Just Slide Mountain.
Slide Mountain right next to Giant Ledge.
right next to Giant Ledge. That's very funny.
An interconnected trail hike ranging from 1,100 feet to 2,600 feet in elevation with severe sheer cliffs and drops. Forest Rangers, and he's naming them, assisted in finding the hikers at dusk, safely leading them down from Giant Ledge, transporting them to lodging, and later returning to find their lost car keys and personal belongings. This level of dedication at the start of the busy Labor Day weekend is representative of the commitment shared by our Forest Ranger members. New York State is proud to highlight our Forest Rangers and all members' continued dedication to public safety in the face of difficulty and danger.
And bad trips.
Difficulty and danger, even those caused by what you eat.
Well, that certainly doesn't glorify the use, and we are allowed to report on it. So I think I'd be allowed to read my book on it and stuff like that because, yeah, I mean, I think that doesn't glorify it.
The hikers became lost and experienced a debilitating high from consuming psychedelic mushrooms, authorities said.
I'm trying to figure out what that is because I've done my share and there was never anything debilitating happening ever. I was always quite capable.
Kindly DiCaprio wrote in all caps, too many mushrooms. Too many mushrooms on the Giant Ledge.
Kindly DiCaprio has, that's such a great name, by the way.
I know.
Has watched The Curse of Dawn's Plum. Well, you know, that's kind of one of the reasons why I started this channel, so that I can like avoid getting in a situation where people are misrepresenting my history, which I felt like happened in that documentary to some extent, at least. Certainly, Todd Beckman, who, like if you've read my book, you'll see. You know, I don't think I mentioned him, and it's not because I was trying to avoid him. It was just easy to do. He wasn't there.
Who?
Todd Beckman.
Oh,
Towd.
You said he wasn't there, so why would you mention him?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's not.
Like you're not going to mention who's not in the room.
No.
That guy.
Yeah.
Lisa said, kindly DiCaprio's energy is great, and I agree. I think you guys are wonderful.
She's a little angel. I don't know, maybe she's 6 foot tall and 175 pounds. But she's a little angel to me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because there would not be.
Okay. I also wanted to tell you about, would you look up this guy? He was on Saturday Night Live, And he's probably most famous for being like part of the trio Lonely Island, which is like a comedy group. They're really funny.
What's his name?
He won an Emmy for Dick in a Box. His name is Jorma Taccone, but it's spelled Jorma Taccone.
What about him?
So he is recovering from a major injury. He fell off a 20-foot ladder and he shattered his pelvis.
Oh my God.
He said he was just like decorating a barn on his property where he was hanging up string lights, and he had to borrow this tall ladder from his neighbor, and the neighbor was like, "You shouldn't climb that ladder. That ladder's got real bad feet. It's going to slip. You're going to fall. It'll be bad." He's like, "It'll be fine."
It's a fucking ladder, bro. I know what I'm doing.
He said that he felt the ladder slip, and he said his life flashed before his eyes, and he was most concerned about. He was saying all of this on the Seth Meyers podcast, and he was saying all of this that the worst thing that he thought about when he was falling and he was sure he was going to die was that it was his daughter's like 5th birthday party, and that there were just going to be a bunch of like kids coming to his house while he's like getting carried away on a stretcher, you know.
I mean, that would probably be the first thing. If I had kids, that would be probably the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, horrible. Anyway, he's going to be fine. He was talking about it on a podcast.
Though. He's not.
He was joking about it on a podcast, and so he's, obviously with it. He's not like, too doped up on the pain meds.
He shattered his pelvis, man. There's no way that doesn't age well. There's no way that ages well.
Oh, also, he said that his spine detached from his sacrum. But apparently he's going to be okay. He's going to make a full recovery.
Things are great.
I know.
Here on the home front. Well, I hope that's the case. That's a terrible, gnarly injury.
I know. It was really encouraging that he was laughing through the pain, like talking to his friends, and that everybody recognizes he's going to be okay.
He's a funny guy. Funny guys keep it funny. Most of them, at least. Norm Macdonald was cracking us up all the way until his death.
Yeah, did we know that he was sick?
Yeah.
You did?
Well, he didn't talk about it, but it was like, why is his face so swollen?
Oh, he was like on steroids or something?
He swole right up. He was just filled with water. And yeah, it was obvious that something really gnarly was happening. And you know how people weigh in on shit. So
yeah.
I read, back then, people were like, this is likely due to cancer or blah, blah, blah. Or it might have even been known. I can't even remember now. I do know that he kept me laughing through his illness, which was incredibly kind, and I hope helped him as much as it helped everybody else.
Yeah. We love Norm.
Big time. He's the real stuff. Charlie Sheen is all over right now.
Yes, he's put out a documentary and he's writing a memoir.
It's on Netflix.
Releasing a memoir, I guess it's written, I suppose.
Yeah, and he's being very forthright.
What did you think about when you saw this? Like he just came like shot back up out of the coffin, like
yeah. Well, I guess it was going to happen
grave.
Eventually. From what I understand, he's sober, which is great. He's sober, and he is apparently rather mortified, as he thinks retrospectively.
Really?
Of his insobriety. Yeah.
It was kind of rock star shit, dude.
Well, he speaks about that too, because he came out about having sex with men.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's talking about having sex with apparently a lot of men.
Well, that's a little bit concerning because you don't know whether, I think that he actually has a allegation. So I wonder whether he's trying to like head it off at the pass.
So he said that he said, yeah, some of it was weird, but a lot of it was freaking awesome. So he's apparently, very forthcoming. And I think it's good. Like, I don't think what he's doing is bad. I mean, obviously, if he's using this as a means to cover up for responsibility or some kind of misgivings, that's a different story. I'm not commenting on that. But the way in which he handled it that I read, I thought was really good, because it was almost like he was saying, like, hey, don't knock it till you try it. Like, he was just basically saying, like, I didn't do this because I was deranged. I did this because it was fucking fun, and I really dug that, because
he must have
the last thing we need is some guy trying to use alcohol abuse or drug abuse or whatever as a scapegoat for being the evil homosexual. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love that the guy is like saying, hey, this isn't a bad thing. You know, because it's like it's such a scapegoat otherwise. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I bet that he was so perplexed by all this cancel culture shit that he managed to act super wild, and I think he was even accused like before everybody's kind of decided what we do with people like that.
Well, it's like Ozzy. You know, there are people
like
who
Ozzy,
they're in a different stratosphere. It's kind of like the way Bukowski ought to be treated, because he was just in this whole like almost subculture of and really it involved his economic being and that culture. You know what I mean? Like you don't show up in like the north end of Winnipeg, which is like the really like rundown poor neighborhood. You don't show up in the north end of Winnipeg and start judging people for the way they're living. They're surviving in really difficult, situation, and they have a different way of living. I always thought that
like, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I always thought that like the posthumous attempt to cancel Bukowski was like so fucking pathetic and weak. Like I get okay. Like I get that you have your issues with this guy, but that you're trying to get people to like not appreciate his art like so long after the fact. Like it just seems like such a impotent waste of that kind of like there's a lot of living people that you could spare that sort of energy for. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a little weird when we're going back in time.
Erica says, I don't think that being sober exonerates him for the bad things that he's done. He was
I agree.
knowingly giving women STDs without telling them.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah, so this is just really...
That's right, I remember that
It is so
now.
strange when you see these people do this like victory lap where they're like, hey, I'm brand new. You'll forget about everything I did.
I don't think that's what's going on here. And look, I'm not a fan of Charlie Sheen's. I don't really care one way or another about him, like most celebrities. And I was never a fan of his work, other than like, I loved Hot Shots and...
yeah, it was awesome.
And
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it was awesome.
Was the baseball one?
Oh, what was that one?
Was that Hot Shots?
No, Hot Shots was the parody.
It was the parody of
like the airplane one.
Like he wears Rambo.
Yes. And Hot Shots Part 2.
And Part 2. Anyway, I like those.
What was the baseball one?
Those roles. He was in a bunch of like the Brat Packy stuff that I liked back in the day. Major League, yeah, that's it. Loved Major League. Major League's classic, even if it is the Cleveland Indians as the featured team. So.
Oh, Kindly DiCaprio said his daughter is on TikTok and goes live and says mean things about him.
About Charlie Sheen. Yeah, he speaks about his estrangement with the 21-year-old daughter. I mean, the guy's a fucking mess. I don't think he's going to deny that. I don't think he can deny that. But yeah, I'm neither a fan or a hater. I don't think about him very often. He's been such a spectacle through the years. And he returns with, now more of a casting his, his own retrospective light on his.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he's proud of it, and he ought not to be. So it sounds like this guy's like in some way maybe owning some of the shit he's done. Do you know what I mean?
But like in a way that he profits off of it.
Well, he's trying to get a reboot. He wants to get a two-man, and this is why I put it in there, because it's such a weak sauce thing he did. In my description, he said, for the fans. He's like, we owe it to the fans to do that. And he's like, he wants to get to work. He doesn't need the money. He just wants to work. He wants to be back in. No.
Lisa is making a really good point. Wow. Are we wrapping our minds around Corey Feldman, who accused him? Corey Feldman in this season of Dancing with the Stars at the same time that the Charlie Sheen documentary is being released. Kind of funny timing.
Oh man. So
that's
wait,
fucking rough, dude.
I didn't know that Corey Feldman, he wow, you're right. He does need the money.
Of course he does.
Corey Feldman. I didn't know that Corey Feldman
I can't remember if Corey Feldman was accusing him of abusing him or accusing him of abusing Corey Haim.
I don't know either.
I can't remember.
As of September 25, according to this AI overview, Charlie Sheen's estimated net worth is approximately $3 million. What? This is a drastic reduction from his past peak wealth, which is why I was saying he would be fine, which was once estimated at $150 million. Decline in wealth, a combination of personal scandals, substance abuse, Legal battles, costly divorces, and lavish spending led to a significant loss of his fortune. I tell you, man, if I ever get money, I'm just gonna fucking hang on to that shit and just keep living. Dude, I'm gonna cook at home.
I'm gonna have a problem buying fruit trees, and then that's it.
Squander $100.
That's all. I'm gonna be like, yeah, babe,
$47 million.
I spent another $200 on a 4-year-old fruit tree, but we're gonna have fruit. That's it. That's gonna be my expenses.
I will say though, he's gone bankrupt, I guess. Yeah, he went bankrupt and the whole shit and caboodle.
Well, I hope it pans out for him. You know, fucking whatever, dude.
So now he's, I guess, trying to get sympathy. I'm not gonna watch that documentary probably, unless I get a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, sure. We watch documentaries about bad people all the time.
Yes, but this is more like a propaganda piece. He's promoting it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, let's tell the truth about, blah blah blah.
Right.
This is about him trying to get a job.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is a lot of times these people will put out, they'll put out like a little bit of negative press so that they can be like, "What? I admitted to all my wrongdoing," so that it buries all of the other like real bad stuff.
It's just such an interesting strategy. So the idea then is that if he can get enough buzz off this documentary, if he can create some kind of love, he can try to like rejuvenate or reignite that love for 2.5 for his character in 2.5 Men, that he'll somehow get picked up again. Oh boy, it's a stretch, buddy. I think you might just want to hang on to that $3 million, man. Count every fucking dollar of it, bro. Don't lend anybody money.
Yeah. Hey, do you want popcorn?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thanks, Angela.
It goes on medium?
Yeah. In between medium and medium high.
Okay.
I don't know. Look, Charlie Sheen, fuck that guy. For real. Not like in the way that, I care that much, but obviously he was up to some bad stuff. I forgot about the STDs, man. That's too gnarly. That is too gnarly. Exactly, Erica. The John Candy doc, I Like Me. I fucking almost cried about it last night. I'm so excited for it, and man, that was a great dude. Imagine living a life like that. Being as beloved as John Candy. He was an amazing dude. I literally cried the day that guy died. Not like a sobbing, like I just lost my, own family member way, but just like, I just sat there and I started to think about him not being around anymore. And it just hit hard, Thank you for the likes, by the way. I really do appreciate you. And the kind gestures you make. Let me see what else I got. I'll get started before Angela gets back. It is, do I have it? No, it was Charlie Sheen was my last thing. I might have something in my saved. Let me go check it out. You guys got anything? Paris Jackson is speaking out. I don't know if she goes by Paris Jackson. Her name is Paris, though. And I think she does. She's quite a beauty. She is calling the Michael Jackson biopic filled with inaccuracies. That is in my saved. I didn't read this article, though, so that's probably why I didn't talk about it yet. Anywho, filled with inaccuracies. I don't know that you'll find a biopic that isn't. I just wonder if that such a thing exists. Straight Outta Compton apparently like just glazed over all the super heavy controversial shit. They just didn't even bother with it.
I know.
So,
it was written by like 4 white people.
I think that's the thing I love most about my book
white.
is that you can't, it's untouched, it's uncontaminated, at least for now. I expect Leo will probably sue me eventually. As soon as he's been able to keep the press away from my book, which is remarkable. And I watched it have, it was fucking wild shit. I hope I can show it to you guys one day in like maybe a documentary or something. But eventually somebody's going to write about it. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, let me get you on there. Hey guys, let's get Angela back. She's back in the house. How do I do that again, Angela? Oh yeah, I push this button right here. Boom. She's a beaut. She's a beaut.
Erica said I'd rather watch the John Candy doc.
Me too. That's what I was just saying.
I would too, but I know it's going to make me sob. And I, like from the first frame, there's so many of those documentaries that I've been like, I really, really want to see, but I just know I'm going to cry so hard. It's like the Shannon Hoon documentary Val Kilmer's documentary. What is it? The Jeff Buckley one that's getting released soon, and then this
Didn't
John
it get
Candy
released?
one.
I want to see that too, very much.
They're all gonna make me
I haven't
cry.
seen the Shannon Hoon one though.
I can't.
I got to.
He made it himself.
I got to do it.
I know. I know we have to. The Val Kilmer one too.
We got the record, Nico.
Yeah.
I meant to talk about this yesterday, but Jeffrey Wright slammed the backlash to him playing Commissioner Gordon. And yeah, I did get it wrong contextually. Again, I don't follow the DC movies, but he had already played him. But I just loved his comment about it in terms of like, man, he just bit back. He called it fucking racist and stupid and absent all logic. And when he said that, it just reminded me of Baldwin. Like it had the force, like 4 simple words, but they had the force of like James Baldwin, at his finest. It's absent all logic. And when you think about it, that is the most perfect description of the problem. There's no logic to that.
Yeah, you're just hating to be a hater. There's really no reason for you to be upset about this.
There's no reason to worry about whether Commissioner Gordon is played by a black man or a white guy.
Gives a fuck.
Does not matter.
I mean, unless you're going to make some sort of statement about how Gotham is like, has like racist organizations or something.
Well, the statement that needs to be made is that most of these comic books were, written during an era when it was all just white everything. Everything was just white.
That's right.
Name a black superhero. If it's Blade,
I don't know any of those superheroes. If it's
Blade, it came into the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Late 80s.
I don't know. I mean, that might be interesting to find out, like, who was the first black superhero, but I don't know anything about superheroes.
There was like a question asked that I'm not gonna like get too into it, but I subscribe to our No Stupid Questions. This person asked, are most people actually racist and just not admitting it? And this is what I've been talking about, and this person like put it so well that I wanted to share it with you guys. People have a subconscious biases.
Yeah.
Some for people within their ethnic group, and some for people outside of it. And this is the cleansing part, that subconscious bias. And where that subconscious bias comes from is really more of an unconscious bias as opposed to a subconscious bias. The subconscious bias implies that there's some kind of supernatural understanding of this, whereas an unconscious bias is more about how things get ingrained into you so frequently, and that they become an unconscious
that's
part
the same thing.
of your
subconscious.
I think subconscious for me.
It just means that you can't articulate. You can't articulate or like I know that's a funny word to screw up, right?
I love it.
And that you also just aren't like consciously aware of your bias. Like, I know that if somebody came up to me on the street and was like, Dale Wheatley, he's a motherfucking bad person.
Why do you got to put it that way?
I would be like, okay, well, I have a very conscious bias towards Dale Wheatley because I'm in a relationship with him. I think I know him really well, and he's wonderful. He's like my favorite person. So like, that's a very conscious bias. But when people are like, when they see somebody across the street who looks differently from them, or maybe is from a different country from them, or maybe has like, whatever, acts different from a different culture or something, whatever, I don't know. And they're like, I just think that person's a bad person. They're not articulating to themselves, right, consciously, why they think that.
Yeah.
Like, I know that I believe you're a good person because I know you very closely, and that's very conscious to me. They're just like, I suspect that person is a bad person, even though they've given me no conscious indication for why that would be. That's subconscious. Subconscious and unconscious
I know
are
that
the
it
same.
technically is subconscious. I'm just saying unconscious because as an unconscious, because it's something that got learned and ingrained, as opposed to something that, like as opposed to like a part of the brain or a part of your awareness that doesn't know any better. And I know that they're kind of the same in one respect, but I don't think so. And the reason why I don't think so, and the reason why I'm calling it unconscious opposed to subconscious in the way that I'm putting it, is because, like, so if you were raised by racists and you were unaware of subconsciously your biases entirely, but yet you object to the way that your parent or parents behave, then so if these things come up, although it is technically your subconscious, I'm saying the unconscious side of it is it's not about not knowing, because you do know.
This is why
it's about it being so deeply ingrained that you don't associate it with.
Yeah, I know.
You've learned to be
I think that this is why
that's where the unconsciousness comes in.
That's why it's a really great question. Do you think that the majority of people are racist and don't know it?
Yeah.
Well, of course, you're talking about unconscious, subconscious bias. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's probably definitely the case. It's like, if you grow up in a society and you're like fed media and all of these other things that just like change the way that you believe things work, you know, you have to, everybody, like every creature learns by association.
Yeah.
So if you make an association of like, you see a piece of media where a certain person is the criminal and then the person that looks just like you is the hero, that's going to imprint an association to you, you know?
Yes.
And so I just feel like a lot of people are operating from that, just associations, and they just don't realize it. I think the problem isn't so much that they have those associations. The problem is more that they don't know that those associations can be formed that accidentally.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
It's when people don't realize
That's
that
the
these things,
unconscious
that you're being influenced by media portrayals and by, you know, some remark that your classmate who you like, who you think is funny, made. And so that sort of imprinted on you and you built an association, or like, you know, maybe somebody that looks different from you bullied you once when you were 6 years old and you've forgotten all about it, but it made an association in your mind that sort of person can't be trusted, you know, just because they look differently from you. I don't know.
Once bitten, twice shy.
I don't know. I just feel like the problem is that people don't realize that they've got these subconscious bias. We all have them, you know.
We do. They're everywhere. I think that was the second biggest comment, which is like, you know, I think people get this wrong because this person's asking about racist. And then somebody said, you know, everybody has a prejudice, and prejudice and racist aren't really.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like there are people who are definitely very consciously racist. Like they are definitely like full throttle.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Yeah. They're aware of it. They choose that every day they wake up.
Yeah. And that's why the unconscious is important here, because why I like to call it unconscious, because I don't think I don't think I was ever consciously or subconsciously racist ever, but I was raised by bigots. Yeah. And I'm not just my parents, my fucking uncles, my aunts, the school, friends, bigots everywhere. And so much of what I was raised like, there was so much of that was just ingrained in me in ways that I had no idea, that I couldn't differentiate from racist to, you know, being inclusive. And what is the opposite of racism? Racist.
Well, the opposite of racism is anti-racist. So, like, you know.
So anti-racist.
Well, I know, but like that's like the action of countering racism.
Well, it's a fairly.
But it's less of like just a state of being and more of like you're doing stuff.
It actually perfectly illustrates what I'm talking about, just because like you can be consciously anti-racist and unconsciously racist because you had these things ingrained in you that you hadn't yet shedded, that you didn't even realize that were happening. And I had a good example, but it unfortunately slipped away. But I had a good example of it where it was this person I knew who well, no, that's not it. I'll pass on the example, but I think that point is made.
I don't always feel like super comfortable even talking about the topic, because who the fuck wants to hear about like two white people talking about racism, you know?
Well, I think I think that white people have to have conversations about racism. They're the racists.
I know.
You know, it's like fucking we're the ones that have to have the conversation. We're the ones who have to, you know, own up to the shit.
I do think it is super important to recognize that, like this person saying, do you think the majority of people are racist? And I think you're right, that I think the majority of people are probably have prejudices that they're not fully aware of. I think the only place to start is to recognize that there's a problem. So I think it's good that people sort of engage with like the idea that maybe you were taught things and took on lessons accidentally, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to do some comments before we go?
Yes.
So I'm sorry that I fucked up that. I wanted to play that video for you guys. See how I'm just dealing with all these technicals. I just got.
Well, you got to practice stuff.
I just got this new board in. I thought I tested it earlier and it was fine. So I don't know why I lost sound there. I'll have to figure that out. I think that's just a minor, just a user error on my part. But I'm really excited because, hopefully soon we'll be able to create some more content and get some more like-minded people in here. A lot of times, we put our thumbnails out there and we end up like in arguments with people who are really not like, like that don't really fit into this community. And we have like really great people here.
Did you block that person or just mute them?
I hid them.
Oh, so they're still here.
They could be.
Oh, that's interesting. But they're just not being seen.
They're not allowed to be seen.
Do they know that they're not allowed to be seen?
Yes. They'll try to comment and they'll be like, your comments have been
I shut the door. Can't hear you.
I'm just not going to like, you know what, if you're going to show up here and you're going to be insulting or you're going to say like things like you're going to insult the live. Like if you're fucking bored, you know what I do when I'm watching TV and I don't like what I'm watching, I turn it.
Yeah.
I don't fucking comment.
I know. Go spend time with people you enjoy.
You're engaging. You're engaging with it. You
like protect your peace. Like really, like you could just choose.
It's not even peace. You're saying you're bored and you're engaging with it.
Yeah. I know.
It's just because they're,
That's true.
So anyway, I'm excited for the things that we're going to build together because I'm especially inspired by this core group of people who come and hang out with us on a daily basis. And I feel very lucky to have you guys around. What are the questions or what are the comments, I should say? If you have any, if you don't.
Some people are talking about the Charlie Sheen allegations and specifying like the context of that, which, is a super bummer.
In what way? Oh.
Apparently on the set of Lucas, which I'd never heard of. Corey Haim was a star of Lucas.
Yeah.
That's a bummer, dude. Kid.
That's where Charlie Sheen got at him?
Yeah, that's allegedly. Lisa Timms is saying that her son is Spider-Man? Hudson Thames is the new Spider-Man? What?
Is that true?
Yeah, Lisa also says he's on tour with the Struts. Do you see that?
Let me see. He's an American actor and musician, best known as the voice double of Peter Parker Spider-Man for Tom Holland.
That's awesome.
So he's a
voice actor?
He's a voice actor, I guess.
That's so great. We got stars in our... That's so great.
In our midst?
Yeah.
He's 31. Lisa, how did that fucking happen? Look, there's Byron. Hi, Byron. Hope you're well, buddy.
Cosmic Urgency has an answer for black superheroes, okay?
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yes, Black Panther, of course.
Bishop,
okay.
Storm,
yes, of course. That's X-Men, so that was 80s.
and Spawn.
Well, yeah. I guess Spawn, too. Well, thank you for that.
Kindly DiCaprio said, am I the only person here who isn't from Hollywood? Maybe. You might be the only person here.
I get thick in here someday. You never know. Yeah, well, thank you for pointing it out. Of course, Storm. I loved her. She was my fave.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about any of those characters, but for some reason...
Everybody loved Storm. Then Halle Berry got to play her, and I was like, the shit.
That her eyes rolled back and went white when she was doing her superhero thing.
Yeah, super cool.
Badass.
I don't watch Marvel movies or any superhero movies, really. But I'm going to see the new Superman that just came out. Because that one's got me in the nostalgia heart.
Yeah.
Part of my heart. And
didn't you say that Spider-Man was one of your favorites too when you were a kid?
Growing up.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Come on, that cartoon. Are you kidding me?
That's great. Cosmic Urgency wants to know, what movies are you watching this weekend?
Well, I need to find out. So thank you. That's the order of business for sure. What was the one that was mentioned yesterday by, who was it? Who went through the list?
So many. There were so many.
Yeah, no, but I saw all of them except one.
Oh, okay. It was, let me go back there.
Klutz?
Klute.
Klute's on the list.
That wasn't the only one, though. I'm sorry. I'm going to take forever to look for this.
Is it CLOOT?
No, it's KLUTE. I do not know why they named it this.
Klute, 1971. I was one. Yeah, that's right. Donald Sutherland. I want to see this. How did I not know this? Well, where can I watch it? Let's see. Watch now on Prime for $3.79. All right.
You gonna?
Probably.
Okay.
So
what else?
Klute's on the list. I'm going to see. Let me see. Edit services. What else? Anybody got any suggestions?
I wanted to watch Heat.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got two movies for you because I'm not going to tell you the other one.
I know. Well, see, Dale isn't telling me what he's selected. He likes to keep it a secret sometimes, so I can't tell you guys, which is boring.
Because you will go and find... You'll be like, oh, yep, I got totally spoiled, but I'm fine. That's cool.
No, it's true. I'll look shit up.
And the best movies are best left unspoiled. The one I'm going to show you is 1990 again. This is interesting.
Are you going to reveal it? Am I going to find out?
Nope.
Oh.
1990 again.
Okay.
Massive stars. Like huge.
Goodfellas.
And not Goodfellas.
Was that 1990? Casino. No, that was 1990.
It wasn't.
One of them.
It wasn't Goodfellas.
I can't remember.
Anyway, so that one's going to be, we're going to probably watch that one on, and we have so many options to watch.
Oh, hey, Kindly DiCaprio said, I'm going to see Daniel Isn't Real. It looks really scary, and Schwarzenegger's son is in it.
I want to see that
Patrick
very much.
Schwarzenegger. That's his name, Patrick, right?
Yes.
Daniel Isn't Real is directed by my ex-boyfriend.
Is it?
Yeah. Adam Egypt Mortimer made that. I wasn't dating him when he made that.
People love it.
But he was when we were together, he was a music video director, and he was like such a fucking visionary that I'm so excited that he's making horror films. He wrote a comic book while we were dating, and it was like super original. I was so impressed.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has a really, really great brain for all kinds of like literature and movies, and so I'm sure I haven't seen it yet because I don't know where it's playing, but I'm sure it's like rich with references.
Oh, he had Mary Stuart Masterson in it.
Did he?
Yeah. I was a fan of hers back in the day. I wouldn't mind seeing Daniel Isn't Real if you don't mind watching your ex's work.
Oh yeah, no, I'd like to. Last time I looked for it, it wasn't streaming anywhere, so it's really cool if it is now.
It's all over.
It is now?
It's streaming everywhere.
Oh, well, good for him, dude. I hope he makes a shit ton of money. He deserves it.
Tubi, it's on Roku, it's on Plex, it's on Amazon, and then you can buy. That's all for free.
He's also he's a director you can really root for. I can vouch for him. He's a really nice person.
Well, he would have to be to fall in such great graces with you. So you gotta have something.
And because I was with him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying you're a really great person who attracts great people. I know because I'm a great person. I've come to terms with that.
That's true.
I mean, I am a good guy. I'm not a bad guy.
Okay, Dale. So what do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, another week has concluded. Thank you for your patience as I went and watched my football game. The Eagles won. It was ugly, but thank you for...
And it's because you were there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully we won't have too many of those interruptions. But, baseball playoffs, it's going to be a little rough around the edges. And we'll figure things out.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, what happens when the Eagles have, like, Thursday night games? You going to just...
I'm going to bail out early.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Unless they're just hideous.
Are you going to play hooky?
You guys are the best. Thank you for hanging out with us again this evening. I hope you'll come back again on Monday. And yeah, horny growl, man. We're gonna rehearse it this weekend. My hope is to have that episode ready to go for next week. It'll be a fun episode. We'll have a good time.
Yeah.
But at least it's gonna be just kind of showing off some of the ways in which this little live is gonna grow. So we are gonna sign off. We're gonna go watch Heat. Not tonight though.
No, it's too long, right?
We're going to watch Heat, and then we're going to watch a movie I'll disclose the name of on Monday, but I suspect Angela...
It's a secret.
...will enjoy it. And if you don't, I'll be sad and disappointed.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
R.I.P. my mug.
Oh, your mug. We're going to get you another one.
I should have named it so I could have given it a proper
I'm glad you didn't name it. We'd have to put up a little headstone.
No. You guys are the best. I'll see you Monday.